Welcome to the Carolina Coasters East Coast Road Trip Award Show. Today, I'm ranking the top 10 best coasters for my East Coast road trip. In total, I rode over 110 different roller coasters, and here are the best of the best. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, as it's the best way to support me in helping me reach my goals. But without further ado, let's kick this list off. At number 10, we have Grizzly. This awesome coaster, retracked by the Gravity Group, completely blew my expectations away. With its new pre-cut track, Grizzly feels smoother, faster, and wilder than ever, with a great surprise to kick off the list. At number 9, we have Mystic Timbers at Kings Island. This coaster was fantastic from start to finish, never letting up for a second. GCI really nailed it with this one, and Kings Island keeps it running like it's brand new. I'll admit, the shed, well, it was a little underwhelming, but overall, it's still a top tier wooden coaster with amazing airtime and just amazing forces. At number 8, we have Skyrush at Hersheypark. Skyrush exceeded the hype for me. The first drop is absolutely insane. The lap bars are definitely tight and it's a bit rougher on the wing seats, but from start to finish, it's pure adrenaline. Not the best at Hersheypark, but still a fantastic coaster with amazing airtime, amazing forces, and just that first drop, once again, absolutely insane. Continuing the Hersheypark theme, Wildcats Revenge by RMC earns the number 7 spot. As the newest RMC hybrid coaster at the time of recording, it's just pure fun from start to finish. I do definitely prefer the older RMCs to the newer RMCs, although I do like the direction they're heading in with the more fast-paced RMCs, which little hint for later, you'll see, because I'm going to create some controversy. But I do just prefer the older RMC layouts that Alan Schulke did, but I still do like the newer ones, just not as much. But with 4 inversions and those wild whippy transitions, it's everything you want from RMC and more. At the number 6 spot, we have another RMC masterpiece, Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. Twisted Timbers has some of the most craziest ejector airtime I've ever experienced. Second only to Air Force One, of course, because Air Force One, it's just like, that's painful at that point. The pacing is non-stop, the barrel drop is iconic, and it never quits. Now, Carowinds, please just clone the ride. I'd be perfectly happy with Twisted Timbers layouts as Fury's little brother. Like, who's gonna complain? If we get an RMC, we get an RMC. I don't care if it's a clone. Before we move on, a quick shout out to Magnum XL200 as today's honorable mention. I loved this classic Aero, but it just barely missed the cut. Alright, we're heading to the windiest peninsula in the world. That's a joke, because my VIP tour got cancelled at Cedar Point. We couldn't climb to the top of Valraven due to high winds. I know, I'm not funny. But, like, if you get the joke, you get the joke. Anyways, Maverick. Let's just say Intamin knows what they're doing. The first drop in the back row, chef's kiss. The ride is punchy, fast, and full of whip. I wish I could have ridden its big brother, Intimidator 305, now Pantherian, but still, Maverick is just pure fun. If you know why Pantherian was closed, you know. Intamin. Do I even need to explain at this point? Number 4. It's time for the controversial one. Yes, it's a great coaster. It has tons of airtime, a long ride, and it has amazing forces. If you're not getting the hint, it's Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. Like I said, it's a great coaster, but for me, it didn't feel as fast-paced as other RMCs. I just wish it came slamming into the brakes like all the other RMCs created around its time or that are now newer. I just like how Twisted Timbers and Wildcats Revenge, you have so much energy still coming into the brakes that, like, you need time to catch your breath. And this is also why I prefer Iron Gwazi over Steel Vengeance. Just because, like, you come slamming into the brakes on Iron Gwazi. Steel Vengeance, it's a little dead by the end of the ride. And I know the mid-course does a lot of that, and it would help a lot if the mid-course was not there, but, like, I get that they're trying to speed up their dispatches, block zones, efficiency, all that stuff. But it just... the block hits a little hard for no reason. Still, it's an incredible ride, just not my number one. And for the third time in a row, we're staying at Cedar Point for number 3, Siren's Curse. The tilt was insane, of course. Everyone talks about the tilt. The tilt's the tilt. It's what is the ride. That's the ride, the tilt. Vekoma really knocked it out of the park with it. And it's just such an innovative ride model. I loved it. It was creative. It was everything you'd want from a new coaster. And I love the direction Vekoma is heading in. And Cedar Point also did such a great job. The theming was amazing. I loved how they painted the support beams, how they had the audio playing. It really immersed you. And the steam and the green fog. I don't know if there was green fog. There was fog though. But like, it just really immersed you. And it was like really well dressed up. The dispatches were also great. Just tell me, what's bad about this ride? I'm waiting. I will say, a little longer or taller would be nice, but we're getting that with the other tilts that are coming. But hey, you get what you get, and you don't get upset, right? Yeah, right. Number 2. The newest coaster on the list, Alpine Fury at Canada's Wonderland. We rode this during opening weekend, which I highly don't recommend visiting the most popular Six Flags park and riding their most popular newest coaster, because let's just say that place was a little packed. I lost count of how many kids were trampled in the rope drop. Like, people, chill, it's just a coaster. That rope drop was the most out of control thing I've ever seen. Like, Canada's Wonderland, I really hope you fixed that since I was there. Like, people just cut the line and ran right in. It was like, everyone just ran, and they tried to control it, but they couldn't. Yeah, anyways. After 3 long hours of waiting for Alpine Fury, it delivered in every way. The whippiness, the punchy launches, and the fast pacing. There was literally nothing to complain about, except the key line. I mean, it was like literally like being treated like you were animals. You were in a tight little key line, which was bad. And to make it worse, it had one fan in the middle of July. Like, come on, people. We just spent a lot of money on this new coaster and we can't get another fan? Or a couple more fans? Like, what in the world were they thinking? It was miserable, and it wasn't even like a permanent fan. It was some little cheap office fan. Number 1. The craziest coaster I have ever ridden. And that is Top Thrill 2. I mean, what's crazier than being launched backwards at 100 miles an hour, being launched forwards at 120 miles an hour, and over a top hat, getting thrown out of your seat, and staying out of your seat through the spiral drop? Like, nothing. There's literally nothing more insane than that. Zamperla absolutely nailed it with this one. It blew me away, and I loved it in every single way. It was just amazing. They should get some double-sided lockers in the queue, if I'm being honest, but, like, we're almost there. I'll take a good ride over some lockers. But Zamperla, like, I don't even have words. Like, everyone was doubting you, but you really redeemed yourself, and it makes up for the year it was closed. It was just such a fantastic ride, and it was so unique. I've never ridden anything like it. The trains were comfortable, and the dispatches were fast. The theming was alright, it was good, but it was just great. There was literally nothing to complain about. It was great. That's it for the Carolina Coasters East Coast Road Trip Award Show. I tried to make you laugh along the way. I'm sure I failed, but I hope I made you laugh anyways. That made no sense, but we're gonna stick with it anyways. But leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about my rankings. I'd love to hear your opinion. I know some people are already furious about my Steel Vengeance thing, but it's my opinion, folks. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. As always, keep coasting with Carolina Coasters.